So I recently got my hands on 3 clone perfumes. One I had for a long duration of time, which was this one, Ameer Al Oud from Lattafa, because this was a very inexpensive perfume that I bought way back during the winters and I was trying this out. And this happened to be a clone of a very famous perfume, which is called By the Fireplace. And this is supposedly one of the best clones of By the Fireplace out there. Then somebody suggested that there is another one which is really great, which was Hypnotic Oud, which then I got a partial. This I got from Alex Bloom, which I kept on using and then almost it's kind of like there. This was a partial that I got from Wef Culture just to, compare it. But you know what? Always when we are trying the clone perfumes, we have to set a benchmark and we have to compare it with the OGs. So in this video, what I basically did was I came up with 3 clone perfumes that I already owned, bought the OGs, tested them side by side, checked the projection, checked the longevity, checked the scent profile. And now after doing each and everything for a long duration of time, now I'm coming back and I'm letting you know, are these 3 clone perfumes actually that good and can they make the OGs redundant? That is the premise of this video, and if in case you enjoy these kind of videos where we compare the OGs and the clones together, I think this video is going to be super helpful for you. And each and every perfume, the clone ones that we will be reviewing, I'm going to give you the rating on a scale of 1 to 10, how good they are overall. I mean, performance, projection, pricing, everything put together, and if I can recommend it to you, okay? Before I go ahead, let me introduce you to the perfumes. The 3 perfumes, the OGs that we will be testing the clones for are going to be one, which I already introduced, By the Fireplace. And this is basically a OG sample that I got from Centauria because I needed to compare it side by side with the OG, right? So this is By the Fireplace and this is a sample that I got from Centauria. Then I purchased one more, which is Parfums de Mali Oajan. And this is another sample that I got so that I can test the clone for Oajan and tell you how good that is. And I also got, because you know how much I love tobacco, there is a perfume called Lux Tobacco, which I introduced as a collaboration with Rizwan because I absolutely love tobacco based fragrances. I don't know where did I keep it. Allow me to show it to you. Yeah, this is the one. So if in case you have not still yet bought Lux Tobacco, this is a good opportunity to place my product as a part, sponsored by Lux Tobacco or something like that. But yeah, if in case you love tobacco based fragrances, this is a really good one. You can try that out as well. But coming to the topic, I got my hands on this. This is a 10 ml miniature of Guerlain Tobacco Honey. Why a miniature? Because I love tobacco in fragrances, obviously. And that is the reason I wanted to keep it as a collectible. See, I am not that super rich, and unfortunately, the premise of my channel was I wanted to keep perfumes which smells very high quality, luxurious, or smells like the OG, but at a fraction of a cost, because a middle class perfume enthusiast doesn't really have that much amount of money to, invest in perfumes. But then again, miniature will do the job for me, at least to test it out and from time to time, check it out. So that's Guerlain Tobacco Honey. And the perfumes that we will be comparing is going to be Ameer Al Oud Intense, and side by side I will also compare it with Hypnotic Oud. These two are basically said to be very good clones of By the Fireplace. Then I have got Nusuk's Midnight Fawah. Nusuk Fawah Midnight Edition basically. This is the bottle. And then I have got an Indian brand, Menworks Cuban Pride. Cuban Pride is basically a clone of Guerlain Tobacco Honey. So how good are these? Let's talk about it. Starting my review with By the Fireplace and its clone. So By the Fireplace, as you know, is a perfume which will remind you of burning wood along with some chestnut, and there is a hint of vanillic sweetness in it. It's like roasting a marshmallow in front of a fireplace. That's the kind of vibe it will give you. Very sophisticated, very sexy, very warm, very comforting in my opinion. And to be honest, I was kind of completely blown away by this particular perfume because when I bought it, I didn't try the OG. I just bought it because I came to know, or I happened to see all the reviews like how good this perfume was as a clone to the By the Fireplace. And I just simply bought it, loved the perfume, started using it. But at some point in time, Hypnotic Oud came into the picture. I got the partial and I was like, there are some identical differences between the two. Although they are in the same DNA, let's compare it with the OG. Now, after putting them side by side, I can very well tell you, both of these two are really close to the OG. Almost identical in the air, where if you are not, I am not that trained enough to catch it in the air. Only when I'm smelling them side by side on paper strips, I'm able to recognize the, subtle differences between the OG and these two. Where Hypnotic Oud shines is the quality. And Lattafa Ameer Al Oud is a bit more, you can say, harsh or synthetic compared to Hypnotic Oud, but there is a difference in the pricing as well. Hypnotic Oud is selling for around 3,000, while Ameer Al Oud is selling for around 1,700. Now, mind you, the OG by the Fireplace is selling for around 8,500, 9,000, 10,000 across different websites. So technically you are paying around 1/5 or 1/6 of the price of the OG if you're going with Lattafa Ameer Al Oud. In case of Hypnotic Oud, you will be paying around 1/3. Now, smell wise, there is a subtle difference. This Ameer Al Oud has a sweetness which is a bit caramelized, or you can say burnt sugar-like in the dry down, while in case of Hypnotic Oud, the sweetness is mostly vanillic and it kind of projects a bit more. Ameer Al Oud, in terms of projection on a scale of 1 to 10, it would be around a 7.5 to 8. This, on the other hand, would be an 8.5 or a 9. Both lasts around 8 to 9 hours easily when applied on the clothes. Quality wise, if I have to rate, this is going to be 8. The blend quality is very good. This would be a 6.5 to 7 because there is some harshness in the opening which settles down very quickly. And there is a oud like, though Hypnotic Oud mentions oud over here, it's not that oudi compared to this. There is a slight sweet Cambodian oud like feel in Ameer Al Oud, but it's a very nuanced quantity. And on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of cloning, I would say they both are like 8.5 to 9. How close these, these are very close. So my theory is, if in case you want to get the clone of by the Fireplace, Hypnotic Oud as well as Lattafa's Ameer Al Oud, both are absolutely wonderful. Depending on your pricing, you can go with whichever you want to and you will not be disappointed. For me, my personal choice is basically Lattafa Ameer Al Oud Intense because, see, I prefer value over quality in certain cases. Like if the quality is not pathetic, I can compromise a bit with the quality if I can get the bang for the buck, the best bang for the buck. For me, Ameer Al Oud Intense from Lattafa does the job. If I can splurge, I will very well splurge on Hypnotic Oud, but that completely depends on your choice. So go with any one of them, you will be more than happy. That's my review for both Lattafa Ameer Al Oud Intense as well as Hypnotic Oud. Now let's move on to the next perfume, which is going to be Cuban Pride and Guerlain's Tobacco Honey. Well, Cuban Pride from Menworks is basically a thick, potent, resinous take on the DNA of Tobacco Honey from Guerlain, in my opinion. Now, mind you, Guerlain's Tobacco Honey, if I check the retail pricing, 100 ml retail bottle of this particular perfume was selling for around 45,000. Too expensive for me. I even checked Centoria, the 200 ml tester bottle was around 34,000. So a tester bottle of 100 ml is around 17,000-18,000. I'm just assuming, but I checked Splash Fragrances or somewhere. I saw that the retail box was selling for around 45,000. Now, for Cuban Pride, if I say the 15 ml costs around 350 rupees only, can you imagine the difference? The entire bottle would be around under 900 rupees, the 50 ml bottle. So technically the 100 ml would be around 1800 rupees or so, and this is around 45,000. So you can understand the parity in the pricing. Obviously, when the pricing is so huge, the difference is so huge, the quality will be different as well. But is it that bad? Because you are spending around 1/30th or so, maybe. Let's imagine 45,000, 1,500, yeah, around 1/30th. I guess it will be around 1/30th of the price. But what I personally feel here, the blend quality is actually not that bad. Alcoholic blast? No, there isn't any. Where Cuban Pride differs from Guerlain's Tobacco Honey is in the quality. Guerlain's Tobacco Honey feels more airy. It kind of lingers on. It's kind of like French perfumery. Okay. In case of Cuban Pride, this is more like Middle Eastern perfumery, where it's more thick, it's more dense, it's more, it will reside on your clothes rather than travel in the air. And this is more potent in my opinion. Although this will project and this will perform and last quite a long duration of time, but you will get a false sense of belief that this is more potent and this is, more projecting, or, it's lasting because of the nature. Both lasts crazy long. 7 to 8 hours to 10 hours easily when applied on the clothes. Projection wise, this although will project crazy, but this will not give you that feeling that it's dense and thick. This on the other hand will give you the feeling that it's kind of dense and thick. Also, the quality of the honey or the sweetness in case of Guerlain's tobacco honey is far more superior. Because of the pricing, you have to understand that there is a lot of artistry in the perfumery that has been done over here. But this is not a slouch either. For the pricing that it comes at, I think it thoroughly justifies the pricing. And the projection that I have received with this particular perfume is around 2 hours to 2.5 hours. The overall longevity that I've received with this perfume is around 8 to 10 hours easily when applied on the clothes. And for a pricing of around 900 rupees for a 50 ml, this is wonderful. Now, let's do the rating. In terms of cloning the perfume, I would say this is a 7.5 to 8 in terms of the cloning. In terms of the longevity, this is absolutely an 8.5. In terms of the quality, I would say there is a dip because I'm comparing it with this one. I don't own any other tobacco honey clone out there. So if in the case I do a clone war in the future or I compare it with others, I can actually vouch if something is better than this in terms of the quality. But pricing wise, quality wise, I would give it a 7.5 in terms of the quality. So that's Cuban Pride for me. If in case you're looking for a good tobacco honey from Guerlain clone out there, Cuban Pride will not disappoint you. But subjected, this is a tobacco based perfume, a sweet, dense tobacco based perfume. It can be a bit polarizing, and that is the reason I think you should get a sample first rather than getting a full bottle. And if in case you were wondering where I got it from, I got this from Centauria as well. Now let's move on to my last perfume, which is going to be the only clone of Parfums de Marly Oajan out there. Oajan or Oajan, whatever, okay? It's going to be Nusuk's Fawah Midnight Edition. I already own a Nusuk Fawah, which is the golden bottle. This is kind of a dark bottle, and that one was basically a Paco Rabanne Phantom clone. But this one is basically cloning PDM Oajans. But when I basically saw the reviews online for this particular perfume, you have no idea how the reviewers from the West have glorified this. I have seen people, I will not take names. There is a young guy who sprays perfumes like this in the air, and then he will smell it like this and then make some weird faces, and then he will say like, oh my god, this is so close or something like that. Okay, and I got sold out by the entire idea, okay, because I have tested or I have smelled Oajan in the past. I didn't own a bottle. I love the perfume because it has got that dark, boozy, rum-like note along with a lot of spices. It has got cinnamon, it has got some patchouli, it has got some vanilla, it has got some tonka. It's like a rum cake with a lot of booziness in it, Oajan. So when I came to know that Nusuk Midnight Fawah or Fawah Midnight is a perfume which is the only clone of Oajan out there, I wanted to get it. After I got it, I smelled it. It felt close, but from my memory, it was feeling like is it that close? Let me just order a sample, because again, the Oajan basically sells for around 24,000-25,000 for a 125 ml bottle. So technically the pricing of the full bottle is going to be 20,000. And if you know me, you know that I'm not going to spend 20,000 on a full bottle perfume, right? I am more of a clone guy than designer. I'm not a collector, basically. I am somebody who enjoys perfume, but at a cheaper rate. You can call me Chindi. So I got the Nusuk Fawah, compared it with the OG, and here is what my verdict is. Oajan and this are not exactly that close. A lot of people will be offended by this, but they are not 100% close. What I personally feel is Fawah Midnight Edition is basically Oajan plus more. Here, Nusuk did a really good job actually. They took the DNA of Oajan, then kind of added some Middle East twist into it, made it their own. How? I'm telling you. Along with cinnamon, they have added cardamom over here. They have added a bit of cocoa-like note at the base. They have added a bit of seaweed or leather. There's a bit of tobacco as well. So what they have basically done is they have taken the note of that boozy rum cake because the opening is very identical, but then it has got something more. Okay, you will feel that, along with cinnamon, there are some other spices which are, coming out. And the dry down as well, you will feel that if Oajan is basically going at this frequency, this one, Nusuk Midnight, Fawah Midnight is going like this. It's there, it's kind of replicating the frequencies, then it's adding some more instruments on top of it. It's like this is guitar playing, this is guitar and piano playing. So you can get the guitar, but you're also getting a note of piano as well. It's kind of like that. Is it bad? Absolutely not. In terms of the cloning, I would say this is like a 7.5 out of 10. So cloning wise, this is 7.5. Where it shines is the entire blend quality, because there is absolutely zero alcoholic blast with my batch. By the way, pressurized control atomizer, no problem. And this is also a very polarizing perfume, by the way. If you don't like boozy perfumes, where, there is, oh, by the way, there is some sort of Coke-like feeling over here as well. There is like a raspberry kind of a note that is there at the top as well, or a cherry-like note. Yeah, not raspberry, it's like a cherry-like sweetness. In case of Oajan, what really happens is, there is the sweetness is mostly honey. In case of Nusuk's Midnight Edition, the sweetness is mostly cherry and burnt sugar. So it's sweet, but the sweetness is different. That's kind of the difference between the two. Now, apart from that, the way this basically shines is the way it projects, the way it lasts. And I have seen Fragrantica where people are commenting like this perfume does not really stay for a long duration of time or something like that. But in my wearing and testing, this has easily given me like 6.5 to 7 hours of longevity when applied on the clothes. And I feel that the more the perfume will settle, it's been almost like a month that I purchased this perfume. By the way, I purchased this one from Fragstock. 2,900 or something was the pricing. It was the lowest out of all the perfume. I mean, this perfume was listed across a few websites. Fragstock was selling it around 2,900 or something. But apart from that, I mean, pricing wise, this is around 3,000. That one is around 25,000 or something. So it's like 1/8 of the pricing of the OG, but that's a 125 ml. So 20,000. It will be around 1/6 or 1/7 of the pricing. This offers to really bang for your buck. In future, if there are more clones of Oajan to try, I'll definitely do it. But at this point in time, there is only one. Longevity wise, 6 to 7 hours easily. Projection wise, around 1 to 1.5 hours. But for the first 1 hour, this is kind of strong. For the next 30 minutes, it's kind of like moderate to, a bit mellowed. So overall, the only thing I forgot to mention as I was speaking, in Fragrantica, a lot of people have said like there is minimal amount of performance or something like that. What I basically came to understand was this perfume gives you olfactory fatigue. Very easily you will feel that the perfume is gone. You are not smelling it. But if in case you apply it on your arms like this rather than on your chest, every now and then when you're gonna move your hand, you're gonna get the whiffs, which basically makes you feel that the perfume is actually there. It's just your nose getting nose blind. And with Oajan, somehow that doesn't happen. Although this is like a small vial that I have tested, but even in that particular vial as well, it was not giving me that nose blind factor, but Fawah Midnight Edition was. So if in case you own it or you're planning on owning it, this is something that you should know. Maybe your perfume is performing actually, it's just that you're getting an olfactory fatigue. So on a scale of 1 to 10, it's kind of 7.5 in the cloning aspect, around an 8 for the value that it offers at the pricing that it's coming at. And overall in the projection and longevity department, I will say it's a 7.5 because I feel that, the perfume after it settles for maybe 2 to 3 months more, I think it's going to get better. But at this point in time, I would say it's a 7.5 out of 10. To give you the final verdict, can these clones replace the OG? Okay. So in case of Lattafa's Ameer Al Oud Intense or Hypnotic Oud, absolutely yes. You don't need to buy the Fireplace. You can just buy these two, and they are kind of like 90% over there. So both of them can replace the OG 100%, no doubt. In case of this one, Guerlain's Tobacco Honey and Cuban Pride, can it replace the OG? My answer is no. Quality, depth, everything, this is on a different level. But 45,000, are you willing to spare that amount? If yes, you can. Else, for the pricing that it comes at, absolutely wonderful. Okay. So Cuban Pride, you can definitely go, if in case you have that amount of moolah in your wallet, go for Tobacco Honey. Else, Cuban Pride is a really good option. Last, what about Oajan? Can it replace the OG? My answer is no. The OG is different. This one is the OG plus a bit more something else. So if in case you are just getting derivative or a family member from the line of Oajan, absolutely banger. If you buy this, I don't think you will need this one. That is for sure, because you're getting around 75% of the DNA and you're getting something extra along with the Oajan. If in case you're just, I need Oajan and Oajan only, then this one is not the one. Okay. So this was kind of my verdict for the 3 clones that I tested. If in case in the future you want me to try some other perfumes side by side with the OGs and compare them and let you know what I feel about those particular perfumes, you can definitely reach out to me via comments, or you can connect with me via Instagram, which is Saga Online. But that being said, if in case you have used any one of them, please feel free to share your experience in the comment section so the rest of the people can actually know what has been your experience. And with that, I'll end this video. This is Deep signing off. I'll see you on the next one very soon. Bye-bye.